I might go on mute
on this period. Because I think this is the period when we start being African people. We became Negroes and we became coloreds. We became a whole lot of things that we are not. And we lost our connection with Africa, which means this is why the Garvey period was so important, because he was restoring that connection. We didn't fully understand it then, we don't fully understand it now. And it then, we don't fully understand it now. Because I think this is the period when we start being African people. We became Negroes and we became coloreds. We became a whole lot of things that we are not. And we lost our connection with Africa, which means this is why the Garvey period was so important, because he was restoring that connection. We didn't fully understand it then, we don't fully understand it now. And it then, we don't fully understand it now. For people to exist without a nationality, an identification with a piece of land, and it then, we don't fully understand it now. For people to exist without a nationality, an identification with a piece of land. He is a legless man. Not only part of his body is inoperative, part of his mind is inoperative, part of his psychic being is not there. Now, for people to exist without a nationality, an identification with a piece of land, for people to exist without a nationality, an identification with a piece of land. He is a legless man. Not only part of his body is inoperative, part of his mind is inoperative. Part fully understand it now. For people to exist without a nationality, an identification with a piece of land. He is a legless man. Not only part of his body is inoperative, part of his mind is inoperative, part of his psychic being is not there. Because for a human being to feel whole, he must identify with land. And he must understand something, that is the difference between being a subject and a citizen. And it then, we don't fully understand it now. For people to exist without a nationality, an identification with a piece of land. He is a legless man. Not only part of his body is inoperative, part of his mind is inoperative, part of his psychic being is not there. Because for a human being to feel whole, he must identify with land. And he must understand something, that is the difference between being a subject and a citizen. It is in this period that we became confused between the two. Up until the end of the 19th century, we knew we were not citizens of the United States, no matter what the paper said. We knew we were subjects. And because we knew we were subjects, we had our fighting spirit intact. And this was an international thing, not something applicable to the blacks in the United States. But those in the Caribbean were doing the same thing, understanding the fakery of their emancipation. We begin to understand the fakery of our emancipation. And the Africans had already understood the fakery of the change between chattel slavery and colonialism, a more sophisticated form of slavery.
Letting you know. He said give honors to him though. Dumb nigger logic, the real 101 today, right now. So let's go.
You live at TD Hip Hop Studios, aka the fucking kitchen, and today you're tuned into the pilot episode of Dumb Nigga Logic 101.
Both the black God is real and the nigga is real. Nigga is American white supremacy's creation.
All right, so we'll stop right there. They bring on their scholar. People like to give honors and say, yeah, good job, clap at the lecture and all that. But are these people talking what John Henry Clarke's talking? Or are these people just playing games with you? Now we know that America, which is 3 continents, isthmus, so Atlantis is that too. The 3 continents, which they call Caribbean islands or West Indies or whatever. That's Atlantis. America, which are continents, can't do anything to anyone because it's a continent. Now you talking about you're going to press charges on a continent because the continent violated you? You're a dumbass. You're not a scholar. But these are the people that they want to put on the certain platforms to let these people talk who are going to fill your head with BS. That's just what they're here to do. Fill your head with BS. America is a corruption of Al-Maroc. A-L-M-A-R-O-C. Al-Maroc is Maghreb. Maghreb al-Aqsa is Morocco, the farthest west. West is over here, which is America, which is a geographical location that cannot be the head of some white supremacy. If you're telling me a continent is the head of white supremacy, you're a dumbass. And then if you're going with it, you're an even dumber ass than the dumbass that told you that America did something to you. People playing their little game. Their popularity game. Like this is about popularity. This is not about keeping people deaf, dumb, and blind. This is about waking people up. But again, you know, these are the teachings of their master teachers who they give their honors to and all that stuff, who are part of the assassination of Noble Drew Ali.
Yeah.
Who told these people that they're not Negro, black, colored, and what are they doing today? Calling you Negro, black, colored still? 2018? They're still calling you black? And you're going with it? And you don't realize that it's a game that they've been playing for generations to keep you in the same thing that John Henry Clarke just told you, because nobody ever shared that video. The video only has 19 views. That's John Henry Clarke. 19 views? Over TD Hip Hop BS, they got 18,000. Go Breakfast Club, you see them, they got 500,000 or whatever like that. John Henry Clarke, tell me about nationality, and you're not a citizen. John Henry Clarke telling you that. What is he doing? Echoing the same thing Noble Drew Ali told these people in the 1900s. And they refused to get down with the program. All these years later, their scholar, John Henry Clarke, is telling them, you calling yourself all this BS that you made up. You just keep on adding on stuff, but you don't want to deal with nationality. You think he's not telling you, Noble Drew Ali? He already mentioned Marcus Garvey in there. And he told you that Marcus Garvey was connecting you to the land part of the nationality. Noble Drew Ali was connecting you to the identity part of nationality. That's why Marcus Garvey is the forerunner. Which John Henry Clarke, just because he told you himself, you guys didn't even know what Garvey brought you. And today, you still don't know what he brought you. If you don't know what Garvey brought you, then you definitely don't know what Noble Drew Ali brought you. If you don't even know what Garvey brought you, according to John Henry Clarke, then Noble Drew Ali's prophecy, matter of fact, have manifested, because it has been 100 years since people have heard his name. 50 years would have passed, which is long gone. And lucky if you hear somebody say his name. In 100 years, pfft. Why? Because of all these fakers who know what's up, honors to John Henry Clarke. Wait until he's on his deathbed to tell you people, nationality is the order of the day. You better go listen to more, is what he's telling you, basically, if you honor John Henry Clarke. What he's basically telling you is, you better go listen to Morals. You better go hear what the Moors are trying to tell you. Because they talk about nationality. They don't talk about the racism BS.
No.
Right? We had Islam to the Moors out near Hamilton, that we did the lecture with them yesterday, that we said, F it. We're not even doing lectures anymore. Now we're doing building sessions. Now we're having meetings. Forget classes. Everything's meetings now. Everything's going civic. F the, you want to learn something, go study. We're dealing with activity now. We're dealing with all these years that you've been studying, trying to put that stuff into action now. Forget the BS. But you want to learn something. You want to go learn? Go study. That's how you learn. Everybody's getting their heads taken off clean now. Because enough of the BS. So 18 seconds in, we're telling you, these people right here, playing you. Once they start talking about America did something to you and some white supremacist did something to you, playing you. Because there's no such thing as some white supremacist. There's no such thing as white supremacy. All that is a fiction.
Right.
But why don't they call it what it is? Why don't they call it Inquisition? Why don't they call it colonization? Oh, because if they call it that, then they're gonna have to bring up who did they do this stuff to. And never ever did they do that stuff to black people, Negroes, coloreds, or whatever like that, Africans. They did that to Moors. Documented fact. They did that to Aboriginal indigenous people of the Americas that are called American. So if you're telling me that America's white supremacy did something to you, you're tying that to the Aboriginal indigenous people who are the Americans, when that's actually you. And you have to tell people that part. But you're the black Asiatics of the original black whatever. When these people know what's up. These people's problem book came from the 101 questionnaire. They make that up. That's not their stuff. That format came from what Nobuju Ali laid down for these quote unquote disciples of him, who clearly had no discipline. There's a lot more. You have any input?
Every time I wanted to say something, you was just coming in right with it.
Yeah, I was.
Every time.
Yeah, I got mad a sec.
Right. Because you said everything I wanted to say. I'm like, oh, I was going to say that. Because, like you said, when you went in on that fraudulent of the white supremacy, that's what I was going to go in on. Like, that's fraud. That's made up. That's not real. There's no such thing as white supremacy. They make it seem like that's, again, that bunny rabbit lay Easter egg. He lay Easter eggs. Like there's a monster under the bed. The boogeyman is the white supremacy. Like that. No. There's no white supremacy. Like the Grand Chief said, the Inquisition. But once you talk about the Inquisition, like you said, they gotta talk about, well, who did they, put subject to? They gotta talk about the wars, and they also gotta talk about who they are. Now you gotta talk about who they are. They gotta tell all the history, and that's what they don't want to tell. They rather just play the, 400 years of slavery. We're under the so-called white supremacy. Black people this, and that's the game they play every time. Every time. But I'm not saying this big video guy here, he knows specifically, but most likely he does know. Because once you're in that community with our people, you know about us being Moors. Because you're gonna run into those videos. Even guys who, like, look, you got people who nobody knows nothing about, just coming in here knowing about, what is it about nationality? So then, if that's for somebody who just ran into this information, those people who've been doing this so-called stuff for years, they know. They know that we're Moors, and have used Moors information to get out of situations, and still going around saying black this, black that, and holding lectures and all of that. No fez, no nothing, no Bay L, nothing on their title, but using Moorish paperwork and to get out of situations. But then when they come into their own people, their public eye, they still promoting black. Now, how is it? That's treason too. That's treason too. You taking it and you using it to help yourself, but then you're gonna go out there and walk your people on the plank. But you knew exactly what they had to do to save themselves, but you was like, nope. walking them into a burning pit.
Yep.
But then you take the check because you're gonna go out there and you're the one promoting black this, black that, not saying what it's supposed to be. Like we've been saying, if you're not saying that we're Moors and this being the Moroccan Empire, you're selling out. There's nothing else to be talking about.
Simple as that. Simple as that. Simple as that.
And that's why nationality is order of the day. Nationality is the order of the day.
Yeah. And somebody in the chat was talking about Marcus Garvey is not a Moor. Marcus Garvey is descendant of Maroons. So if he's a Maroon, that means he's a Moor. That's why there's a Portmore in Jamaica and a Westmoreland. Why do you think those are there for? Because Moors weren't there? And again, he dealt with the aspect of tying our people back mentally to nationhood. Now, we're not the subjects. We're not the subjects.
They can get the book from Anwar Majid. It's called, this the title alone. We are all Moors. How isn't Marcus Garvey a Moor? What is he? A modern European then?
Yeah. Because everybody has this Blumenbach and them people mindset about people are colors. That's a reality.
Right.
Like they have in their mind that there's more than two quote unquote races.
That's crazy.
You know, but it just shows where they are in their mind.
Yep.
You know, which is why its head's taken clean now. We're not with the saw trying to saw off the head and stuff like that anymore. Head's clean off. One swipe. Because it doesn't make sense right now. That it's at this level with our people because of the BS, and they're still doing the BS, not changing what they're doing. And nobody wants to recognize that the thing that you're doing is what John Henry Clarke said. You don't have a nationality, dumbass. You're calling yourself me. Actually, let's just go listen to him quick fast. Let's just get him in again.
I don't get it. I really don't. I really just don't get that. How many views, Grand Street? 19?
This one has 283, and it was uploaded January 2017.
This country, something called a nationality. And once we find our nationality and serve that nationality, we'll do for ourselves what needs to be done. All ethnic groups in this country understand they got a nationality. Because you answer just such stupid words like Negro and colored and black.
Stupid words. There's nothing wrong with those words, but they're stupid as an identity. You're black. Our people are black people and they're suffering. No wonder they're suffering. You're calling yourself black. Your ass should be suffering calling yourself black. Why shouldn't you suffer calling yourself black? Why should you have something glorious or beautiful or whatever? And then check all the people who claim that they're black that are, you know, in position of they got, so they're not happy. Look under their eyes. See how under their eyes are dark. You know they're not happy. No matter how much freaking facelift they get, they still have the dark eyes underneath because you already know they're not happy. Nothing they could do.
Look at the classified people. The Chinese classified people as black. They're not happy.
Yeah.
And those are so-called Chinese people that are classified as black. And they're not the dark-skinned Moors that's over there, Manchurians, that they showing either. They showing Bruce Lee, Jackie Chan, subjugated black people. Talking about they black. These are black people. These are the black Chinese right here. They're not looking happy. And it ain't got nothing to do with no complexion. Like we've been saying forever.
Getting taxed to death because they're black now.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I'm just gonna start bringing up that one from now on. Are you? What about the black Chinese people? They just started getting subject as black too. That's new. That's not ancient. How did you just subject the people black? They don't see
just
that
like
here.
that. Just like that. Make some people black. Right? What's that called? That's called denationalizing them.
Right.
Denationalizing them, taking away their nationality to make them a nigger to replace your dumbass because you don't want your nationality. So you don't worry. Anybody who's willing to work for $2 an hour, they're gonna get your spot just now. Better believe that. They're gonna get your spot because that's all it takes. Somebody willing to work for less than you.
Yep. They already been doing it.
Doing that. It's like you can't even see what is going on. And it's been going on. Not even seeing it. Completely missing it. And not that there isn't an element that is trying to, you know what I mean, pull the plug on our people. That is real. But don't get it twisted that they have some, you know, more power than us or whatever, because they're some secret society of some Templar, Baphomet, whatever. Like, get the hell out of here. Our people need to embrace a nationality. Just pick one. You want to be more? Fine. Where you say you came from on some slave ship? Pick that and be that. Don't hyphen / black and all that BS. Don't go there. If you're going to be real and true to the cause, let's be real and true. For real, for real. If you're going to say, fine, I'm going to get a nationality, but it's not going to be Moorish, fine. We don't care. We're Moors. You want to go be whatever, you have a right to a nationality, and you have a right to change your nationality anytime. Whatever. Don't call yourself black, Negro, colored, African, and stuff that means nothing. The world is laughing at you. That's why the world doesn't fear a black planet. Because classify if the planet's black, then that means the people on it are that.
Right, you gotta go in on that.
The Earth planet has Earthlings on there. So if we go to some other dimension, other galaxy, other universe or whatever, the planet, just like the flags, just like everything, like is going to be manifest in the people. If we really think that perspective of darkness being evil and blackness, then yeah, okay, yeah, people feel that for sure.
Right.
Because nobody wants that BS around. And we will that black planet is somewhere out in the universe by itself that has nothing to do with us if it does manifest. If that manifests, that it's a black planet, please let me be somewhere else when that happens.
That's what they tried to create here.
And how did they try to create it? By these same Moors right here that you see on Breakfast Club doing interviews about conscious, this and that. These same people who know what's up. But they're game with the game. So now you're left in the dark, wandering around, stumping your foot on everything on this black planet that has no light, which light is knowledge. That's why this place is black. Because it's ignorance land. Ignorance is darkness. Ignorance is blackness. Yeah, but under the ground is black and then plants come from under the ground. The blackness in the ground is ignorant of the light above it. All it gets is the rays, that's all. All it gets is the rays. All it gets is the energy. Doesn't get any light. So yes, it's in darkness. It's in ignorance. But that's its position. It doesn't have a choice to be ignorant of the light. The earth, the being at the most depths of the ocean has no choice but to be there. There's no option. They have to be there. We don't. We have a choice. We could choose to embrace a nationality. We don't have to be blacks. But then we complain about slavery and racism and prejudice and discrimination when calling yourself black is what's creating those messed up conditions that you're complaining about.
Right.
So why not stop trying to eliminate the condition, because it's always going to be there, once you're being what that situation has to feed off of in order to be a situation. There has to be a people being classified as white and a people being classified as black for there to be racism. If there's no black people or white people, there's no racism.
Yeah.
So how about stop saying white people, call them Europeans, and stop saying black, call yourself more. Because trust me, the white man knows he's not a white man. The white man knows that he's European and that you're a Moor. And that ever since they came out the caves, they've been warring with Asiatics all over the planet. It's just what it is. They've gone as far as to make treaties with Asiatics so that Asiatics don't bother them. They didn't have a choice of, well, let's not pay. Why? Because heads taken off clean, because we don't play that BS around here. It's time for there to be a real awakening instead of these fake awakenings that people are having. Because some guy has 500,000 views, oh yeah, you're awakened. He put you onto something. Oh, now you're breathing better because of that guy. Stop the BS. And remember, the boat has left the dock. Like, we already know that we're Moors. We're straight. We can stop doing videos tomorrow. You never see me ever again. Because I already got my birthright. I'm not confused about who I am. I'm not confused about what's going on in the world, what's going on in the universe. I'm not confused about what's going on in my mind. I know exactly what's going on. I already know that this is that time. We're trying to let you know. This is that time. All the paradigms are shattering in front of your face. All the illusions are falling in front of your face. You're not realizing what's going on? Everybody's reaching at straws. Because the markets become saturated. Everybody thinks they know something. Just like everybody thinks they're a rapper. Everybody thinks they're the best baller. Everybody thinks that they're the whatever. Completely oblivious to the higher things that are going on. And those that are in tune, ancestors, whatever, is going to be showing you every day, all day. Because floodgates open. It's like Drew Ali said, let's leave the doors open. So you're going to need 16 secretaries to write down the names. We're there right now. Moore was even talking about earlier about bumping into Morris.
When I was coming out of the store,
yeah,
and the little girl,
yeah,
with her father, and then so she's as soon as I walk out the store, I just hear the little girl's voice. All I hear is, "Look, Daddy, Amor." And then I was like looking at the girl like, whose daughter is this? And I seen the Moore. I knew who the Moore was. You know what I mean? So when I was just, the little girl is 4 years old, 4 or 5 years old. She goes, "Look, Daddy, Amor." And I'm like, yo, wow. I got my feds on and everything. And she see everybody else, everybody else walking around. Because this is like what they call like the square where all our people be at paying bills or whatever, you know what I mean? So, and they're all walking back and forth. It's always very busy over there, back and forth, hair salons, barbershops, all connected. And she just loud, "Hey, look, Daddy, Amor," like clearly. And I'm like, yo, look, out of all these people, that's Amor, Daddy. That's Amor. And that's another reason why people should be wearing their feathers.
Yeah.
Like the 4 or 5 year old walking around here, she's confused. Because you looking so-called black to her. You better put your best on so they know.
So they know. Don't assume.
That's what.
Say that more.
No, I was just saying that's when the prophet saying it's for the young and yet unborn. Like as soon as she did that, I was like, yep, they gonna be. She wasn't. Like, cause when we talk about it, like I know some of us when we talk about it, we'll see somebody come in and you were like, us being Moors and stuff, we'll get quiet about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's like in the store or something, us Moors, we don't like to be loud. That little girl, 4 or 5 years old, look, daddy a Moor. She ain't know nothing. She ain't know, I can't be saying that word out loud. She didn't have that feeling on her. And I know it's Moors who be acting like that, don't want to say European out loud, you know what I mean? Like I know. We do it. Get on the phone. We writing it on in the chat. But they get around them Europeans and they won't say nothing. They won't call them nothing. You know what I mean? They try just call him by his name, call him Jeff or something, whatever. But they're not gonna just be. Them Europeans over there, it takes us a while to get to that part. But my son and that little girl, that's when I see it, like the children, and my son and his friends and stuff like that come over here. It's Moors and Europeans, Moors, Europeans, and they don't have no feeling about it. You know what I mean?
Nothing.
Like, nothing. Like my Moabite, she'll be talking with her friends or something in the house, and they'll be saying that she'll be talking, and she'll be like, "Oh yeah, these black people have to da 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 da," and my son, he'll be looking at my mom at his mom like, "I ain't gonna say nothing and embarrass you over here, so I'll be in trouble." But I heard you, Mom. You know what I mean? And she be like, get out of grown folks' conversation. Because she don't want to come in. She don't want to correct this else. I mean, look at all of this. Look at all of this. So I know, it's for the young and yet unborn. That's why I be like, yeah, I see it. It's really for them, because they're not going to have no in between. They're just going to, I'm more, those are Europeans. They're not from here.
It'll be what it is.
Right.
And that's the good part.
You come in. Right.
That's the good part.
That's why we were saying the other day, you coming into the information 30. No, you got 30 years to get out of that. Yeah. You know what I mean? And then, you start feeling different in your, because I know we know better, but then it's still not, settled in like a newborn. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like they don't know no better. You know what I mean? Right. So it's just, that's what it is. So I really see when the prophet, when he met that. Yeah. And there was another thing you had said earlier that reminded me of the prophet when he had said, it'll come back to me. Something about coming back to the temple. Or come.
What, the secretaries?
Because you had said, when you had said, proclaim a nationality, you know what I mean? Find out what slave ship you came off of and proclaim a nationality.
Yeah.
And then it hit me. I said, yeah. Because the prophet said, with us, all members must proclaim their nationality. He didn't say with us, everybody got to be a Moor. He didn't say that.
Right.
He didn't say that. So, yeah. But my thing is, whatever slave ship you find yourself off of was part of the Moroccan Empire. So I don't care wherever it leads you back to, West Africa. So I don't care what part of so-called Africa over there. Moroccan Empire.
Moroccan Empire. Documented fact too.
Right. Right.
That's not just what we say. It's documented that over there is Moroccan Empire. You go over there and then you see Songhai Empire, but you're discounting Sunni Ali Bear.
Right.
If an Ali is a head of an empire called Songhai, what the hell are you talking about? Some African whatever. He's Ali. He's Ali because he's a pale Arab? He's not no pale Arab.
Yep.
Don't even play.
It's white America's Frankenstein. The nigga is real. And so the nigga is an artificial creation that is causing havoc in the black community.
Right? The nigger.
What?
The nigger is an artificial creation causing havoc in the black community. Well, the black is an artificial creation causing havoc in the Moorish community.
Right.
And tell me about, and going back to the same thing that we were talking about until when we get further about playing like these two things are different. A nigger is different than a black person. Both of those are the same.
Yep.
Little niggers and then black people. Both of those are the same. Stop playing. Try to justify some black, put it next to nigger. Like you put two dirty glass next to each other talking about, yeah, which is the clean glass. Well, you have two dirty glasses there. What are you trying?
Right.
And who you trying stuff on? Because people really sat there and took that. That he's trying to tell you that the nigger is a plague. But the black guy, everything's all right with the black guy. Don't worry about him. In a lot of cases, the black guy is worse than the nigger. It's crazy. Yeah, you have anything on that, more?
Right.
With the nigger and the black?
Right, because the nigger, what is he? All that comes from negro, which means it's black. It's the same thing, like you were saying. It's all the same thing. Or then you can look at it that's connotative, or scientifically with the troglodyte. Now we're talking chimpanzee. You know, like now.
Yep.
But then that's for the nigger, and then but black again. Black is an adjective. Black is not a people. There's no black people. That doesn't exist. Black is an adjective. So there can't be nigger. You know, like I was telling you earlier, this thing is confusing me.
Yeah.
Because you know what you know, and then it's like, what do you mean? All of that, and then that's how I know, like, too, like when you look at other foreigners, like a quote, let's use this quote unquote Chinese again, like when they hear us talking and they just learning English, quote unquote, they must be totally confused. Like that right there will give somebody a headache. Like, what? I don't understand. Like, exactly. I know you don't understand, because that, what did he just say? Exactly. A nigger is an artificial creation, but black is all right. See, someone who just came in from China, coming here, learning English, that would mess them all up. Like, and you're trying to be politically correct. So I don't know how. I don't even know how. You're trying to explain to the foreign guy what you're saying using colors and adjectives and stuff like that. Like, no, you have no idea what you're talking about. None.
None. And we're trying, and we're trying to do you a favor here. You know what I mean? This is not some going at somebody and all that BS. This is about waking up to what's real. John Henry Clarke's telling you what's up. 2 videos of him openly talking about nationality. Nobody talk like that other than Noble Drew Ali. Like that. You're not Negro, black, colored. You have a nationality. Nobody talk like that. You know? And people who talk BS about, you know, well, I heard the Moors, but I didn't get what the Moors or whatever, because you're a mental slave. You can't penetrate what Moors are telling you. Not that what Moors are telling you isn't penetrating you. You can't penetrate where the Moors are at. Because you have to be vibrating at a very high speed spiritually to be where the Moors are at. You can't be dense.
Right. That be that when you yelling, when you trying to explain to them who they are, and they, oh, I don't want to hear that. That's that with the grand sheep is explaining. They're not on that frequency. It's not resonant with them. They're not ready for that, which you about to give them, because they don't want. And another thing is, they don't want to do. They don't want to hear what they've been doing was all wrong. Like a lot of times they don't want to move from that. They be like, nah, like this is what it is. We've been suffering, you know what I mean? Like all that stuff you're saying, no, that's not correct. So they want to hold on to all of those slave stories, all of that. Oh, we came over here in cargo, like the dude from quote unquote Virginia was saying. Like we've been saying, they love holding on to them stories. They love it. They love it. That's like when when we were all under the spell and mom came up to you and told you Santa Claus wasn't real. Y'all was devastated.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, nah, Santa Claus is real. No. Mommy and Daddy Santa Claus. It's the same thing, but y'all adults now, and somebody's trying to tell you like, yo, Santa Claus is not real. You're not trying to hear that.
You're fighting it.
You're not hearing that. What do you mean? Rudolph is real? Like, nah, Rudolph is not real, and they is fighting that.
Fighting it. Even
bringing you to signs, like bringing you to. Hold on. Like somebody got like the brother when he went to the sign and showed you the slavery. See, there's a sign here, and slavery in Virginia existed. Like that's like somebody going to Christmas tree shop, standing in front of a North Pole star, saying, "See, I told you, I told you Christmas is real, brother. What are you talking about? We're in the Christmas tree shop store, and you standing in front of North Pole star sign." Talking about Christmas is real. We in the store, and they still think that stuff is real. That be the thing. It's not real. It's not real. They give them the Moors. They give them the facts. Oh, that's that. And what do you say? That's that Moorish doctrine. That's the Moorish doctrine. Where did that come from? Moorish doctrine. Sleepy Moors coined that term because Europeans say the Moors were the art and cult of civilization.
Well, quick interjection, boy. Quick interjection. Somebody in the chat just asked, do Moors celebrate Christmas? There was a letter written by Noble Drew Ali to the Moors where he said, let his birthday be the Christmas, and then we're just supposed to make sure children are happy. That sounds like Black Pete to me. That sounds like Black Pete. Go look up Black Pete so you can know that it's all about uplifting fallen humanity at all costs, especially nowadays, right? So do more to celebrate Christmas. Yeah, we honor the winter solstice. For sure. We honor the winter solstice.
What? 1 second, Grand Chief.
Yeah, man. You know, we give honors. Because we know that Christmas is not Asiatic culture. The only way it's Asiatic culture if Christ is the sun. S-U-N. And because Christ is the sun, we recognize it. Other than that, people are playing. Oh, there you go, hanging up on people. So rude. But are so rude. So let's get back here.
President Donald Trump isn't the most immediate threat to Black life. Nigger culture is the most immediate threat to Black life. So the nigger is real.
Now, on this pilot episode, I just want to take the time to differentiate the difference between the nigger and the black man. Now, once you understand this and get it down pat, we can now continue on with other episodes and you can watch them with more clarity. Okay, so now the reason this pilot episode is so necessary is because you have to understand that there is a difference between the black man and the nigger. I know on the surface they seem like the same person, the same entity, the same being, but they are not. The black man and the nigger are two separate entities. They are not the same. Now, the best way for me to explain this is to put this in like Dragon Ball Z references, because that's really the only way I know how to reference things. Now, let's get into it. Black men, right? Black men, if I had to describe what black men really are, black men are like Vegeta off of Dragon Ball Z. Now, follow me. I know you think that's a bit of a stretch, but it's not. This is fucking genius.
Right? Now, this is how genius this is. This is the real genius of how genius this is. Before he says his genius, let's give you our genius. So he's going to take this character and say that the black man is like him. All right? This is what the black man, trying to make the distinction between the nigger and, right? Now, when we first watched this, first thing we said, hey! Does he know what he just did? He doesn't know what he just did. So let's break it down for what he just did. Let's break it down for what he just did, because he didn't really know what it is. So this is the black man. Do you have the definition there, Brother Yusuf? Or are you just gonna say it off the top?
I thought I got a dictionary, right? Yep. I got one. I know I keep one next to me. All I had to do was turn it around. Black. them. Hold on. Etymology of black. Like it's not in here. Oh, the etymology dictionary. I'm looking in the wrong one. Hold on. I'm sorry.
You straight. Now, let's go here as well. Since we have a little intermission, let's also go here. Now, when I think about the black man, and I want to reference or relate him to Dragon Ball Z, there appears that people are playing games with you. Islam to Al-Mori. And instead of showing some European, why didn't he go here, maybe? Why didn't he go here? Right? Pick on from Dragon Ball Z, garb like a noble Moor. Notice the gold being worn to symbolize the wealth of his nation. Notice the garb, the overt white symbolize purity of man. Notice, of course, the fez, which is Moorish. Now, don't talk any BS because you already know that they made Asar green. So shut the hell up talking any BS because there's hieroglyphs with Asar green. And you know that he was a brother. So don't tell me about this, he's green, he's not a brother, he's from some green planet or whatever. And I would say this is more of a representation of who the quote unquote black man is. You know, you could call that quote unquote African garb or Asian garb or Oriental garb or Arab garb. You know?
You wanted that definition still?
Oh yeah. Let me get back to him so they could have it in perspective. Right? So this is who we're relating them to. European. Black man. Go ahead, Mark.
Coming out of the Webster's Unabridged Dictionary on page 181, black. Adjective. In the brackets, the etymology, it's Middle English, Blake, bleak. From Spanish, I think, AS. Blake, bleak, black. So, and then the definition of bleak on page 185 is a noun, Middle English, bleak. Or AS, belega, pale, from the color of its scales. It says pale, bleak, pale. So what you're seeing in that picture right there, is that by definition, is that pale? Is that black?
Yes, it is.
So when he said black man.
So this is the real black man. The real black man is pale. The real black man is pale. Remember, these are the same people. Because the individual who he's talking about that is supposed to be here with dark skin really has this mindset. That's who he's really talking about. He's talking about all these people who didn't do what John Henry Clarke did, who didn't do what Ivan Van Sertima did, who didn't do what Dr. Ben did. Tell you that you were Moors and that you are calling yourself Moors. The brother man that went to the European school and got lost in academia and being a professor and a scholar of the school of the whatever. Get all the way till they're gray to tell you, we've been calling ourselves Moors. Mad, yelling at you. John Henry Clarke straight telling you, calling yourself stupid stuff. Calling yourself nigger. Calling yourself black. Coming from calling yourself colored and Negro and things that have nothing to do with you. You know.
Black men like Vegeta, has a bit of a temper. Yeah, black men like Vegeta are also a bit sensitive, but overall are very good guys, man. They're guys that you want on your side. You want them on your team. They work hard. They're loyal. They're not going to turn their backs on you.
No. All that is some BS. That's that stuff like when the man like murdered 20 people, then they check his history or whatever like that, and he used to go in the back and burn cats and bury dogs and do all types of madness. Then they go to the moms and then, well, yeah, my son, he's a good boy and stuff. We used to play have fun and go on the swings and stuff like that. Yeah, how come you're not talking about all the BS? I'm not talking about telling a black guy, hey, black guy, meet me here for a time so we could do whatever, and black guy's 2 hours late. When you talk about that BS. Black guys are nice guys. Those are the worst people. You ask any national, anywhere in the world. Because why? Because they know that people who classify themselves as black are sellouts. And they can't be trusted because they're traitors. Not traitors to some team or something like that. Traitors to their nation. You're a traitor to your nation?
Right.
Have all these people spitting on you. Like dude's mom who gave up Grenada. And then you don't know why.
Right.
You're claiming they're racist to you because you're black. No, dumbass, they're racist to you because you want to be black. And you don't have to be Negro and African and you came over here on a slave ship. Because you could be the Aboriginal indigenous people. Just look at Moors. Like, we're showing you that what's up. You know what I mean? Noble Drew Ali prophesied that a girl is going to go to the store and she's going to tell her mom, look, a Moor. You just go read the oral statements of Noble Drew Ali.
I forgot that.
And get your mind blown. That's how real this is.
Oh my goodness.
Do you know how when the path of righteousness is lit, all you have to do is walk. You don't have to test the thing and then, well, should I do 2 backflips and then just walk? Everything, the thing is lit up, like you could see where you're going, right? Whatever reason it was, Moore said, you know what? I'm gonna wear the fez that day. Whatever reason it was, Moore said, I'm gonna take my daughter, we're gonna go to that store. And then that Moore said, I'm gonna go to that store. These are 2 Moores now. They don't even know each other or whatever. And then the heir apparent, the offspring, completed the prophecy. And echoed what was written from now, even if somebody said, I'm just gonna fake this and just put this here and say that Noble Drew Ali said these things. That's pretty trippy that that thing happened. And then you're gonna go through all the prophecies and see that other stuff happened. That if this was written back then and the stuff's happening and somebody faked this, then okay, who was the people that faked this then?
Right.
Where are they at? Because the stuff happened. So, like, what were they at? They were obviously on something if the stuff happening. Conspiracy is only going to be thicker now.
Mm.
The noble prophet, maybe it was a lie, and people faked it. Put out some book just trying to make Noble Drew Ali look like he's somebody. And they faked 200 things that Noble Drew Ali said and put it in a book and gave it to all the Moors. And the Moors, oh my God, Noble Drew Ali said. Then they're in the back like, oh yeah, we faked that. They think they have something from Noble Drew Ali, but that's fake book. And then the stuff starts happening. Now what is it now? Is it still a fake? Is it still a fake book? Did something intervene while they were making their joke of putting something? That they're laughing and giggling or whatever, but it's actually the spirit working through them writing on the paper. They probably didn't even see what they were writing down.
Right.
What they saw really wasn't maybe there. I'm saying, I don't have no answers. I'm just invoking thought. Like, I really don't know. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Because people say 101 questionnaire, right? Holy Quran of the Moorish Science Temple, Moorish Holy Temple of Science, Moorish literature, Moorish Guide newspaper, and oral statements. But it says questionable because, well, you know, anybody could have said that. Noble Drew Ali said that. All right, fine. Let's go with anybody could have said that. Noble Drew Ali said that. The stuff that anybody said is manifested. That is written. Just go online. Oral statements of Noble Drew Ali. About 200 of them are going to come up on a website called Moorish Tripod. All of them are up there. And you just go through them. Read them one by one. They're short. You can read through it. And then as you're going through it, think about how many of these things manifested. And then remember that that was something from 1913.
And you really do got to think about that. Like, let's just go with that. Like you said, let's go with it. Let's go with it.
More,
like,
I'm just thinking about it right now, for real, for real. That's what I'm still talking about.
Yeah, it be like, yo,
like, hold on a
do
second. Let's just say it.
All right,
Go ahead,
he
boy.
didn't do it. All right, he didn't do it. He didn't do it. I agree. I'm running with it. Well, who did it? Because all those prophecies, because I only can name like a couple right off of, because like he would like check the news. The prophet said to check the news. You know what I mean? To watch the news. Man, it was on ESPN wearing feathers. That's crazy. You know what I mean? Like, they was on ESPN wearing feathers. Like, Cam Newton, he's supposed to be, quote unquote, he does the Superman touchdown and celebration in the end zone. That's Kyle L. You know what I'm saying? He wore the feathers in the press conference. ESPN was the whole, like, whoever wrote that, like, let's just say the prophet didn't do it. Okay, he didn't do it. Whoever wrote that prophecy right there was amazing.
Yep.
Did he? Like, that one was amazing. Check the news. And then he said, I'm going to make the European tell the truth. Are you crazy? You know how many times that has happened? Like, you know how many times that has happened?
Yep.
Europeans writing books, having 3-4 hour lectures. You know what I mean? Like,
telling the truth, like
telling the truth.
Telling the truth
crazy.
telling the truth more than people who you claim are telling the truth. Europeans.
Telling you, going crazy, going like. So I'm like, so they over there just going crazy, like, oh, and the what else prophecies? Like those are the immediate ones, because people say all the time, check the news. Prophet said, I'm gonna make the European tell the truth, and like, okay, he didn't say it. Well, who said it?
Who said it?
Because, well, like you said, it was written 100 years ago. So whoever, it wasn't written right now. You know what I mean? So that came true in 100 years. That happened.
Sorry, Mars. I should have been showing. I should have been showing this more instead of those other people. That was my bad. Yeah, go ahead, more.
It was on ESPN wearing feathers.
Yeah, that one.
All of them.
Like I know. It's the realms. You know what I mean? Like, the one for me was when Isaiah was talking about the 1492 and all that.
Right.
You know what I mean? But
yep.
that ESPN one was crazy. Even for me, like I'm not football or none of that, but that was just insanely what is going on. Twilight Zone. Like, some of those stuff remind me of, for real. Some of those stuff remind me of when we were at work watching 9/11 happen.
Wow. Like, what is going on right now? That feeling, right?
Yo, that feeling, like what is going on right, like on that level is what this has been to me every time when something like that happens. You know what I mean? ESPN or Kim Porter Choco right when she dies, this picture gets dropped and all that. Yo, crazy.
Right.
Crazy. Like, what do you mean she dies and you drop that picture of her?
Right.
And everybody cuts it off up to her neck.
It's crazy.
Like, yo.
Like so whoever wrote it,
Yep.
just because you were around, like, because I'm like, okay.
Something.
Well, all right, let's say he didn't write it. whoever wrote it, they was around. The prophet was the oracles. You know what I mean? Like my mind goes crazy.
Yeah,
you know
we
what I
gotta
mean? Like, okay,
we have to question, like, how is this thing manifesting then? If Noble Drew Ali didn't do it, then okay. What's up?
yeah, because I'm not arguing. I'll agree with them if they went through that. Noble Drew Ali didn't write it. All right, I'll agree with that. But we're going to have to agree that those are that happened. Those prophecies did happen. You're going to have to agree with me with that. Like, we're going to still agree that that stuff has happened. You're not going to argue, oh, that a coincidence? Well, no. Like, coincidence, is like, it doesn't happen, because more as we already know, there's no such thing as a coincidence. But like they say, they like to do the math or whatever. Like out of those 200 prophecies, like, like 90% of those came correct. Like, come on, that's not coincidence.
Yeah, that's definitely not some coinky dinky winky. No way.
Like, and I could see if he said like 2 or 3 things that, like, of course, like, oh, the sun is gonna come up in 100 years. Yeah, of course. You know what I mean? Like, that's gonna happen. That's not a prophecy. But he said, one day a little girl's gonna go home and say, "Mommy, I saw more today." Like, that really happened.
Yeah.
I saw it happen.
That really happened.
I saw it happen.
And then I'm thinking about it too, like reading it, and then I'm like, oh, hold on a second. I know the more who's in that.
Yeah, I saw it happen.
I know that more. I know that more from that prophecy. That's not some prophecy, whatever. Like, I know that more. Yo, there's actually a more that I know that girl in the prophecy pointed at and said, hey, I saw more. That is freaking crazy. Oh, man.
That really happened to me. That really happened. That really happened. She did the point and everything where everybody thought. Like, I wonder how that's going to look.
Exactly.
Just like
how, exactly. Oh, my God.
The little barrettes with the twisties in the park.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? She pointed right up. She pointed right up, right behind her arm. She was hiding. Look, Daddy, more.
That's crazy.
She pointed right up. Like, yep, that's him right there. I know it.
Yo.
That's him right there.
This is no damn organization. This is no damn temple. That's some building. This is no damn church. That's not what this is.
Right. Right.
We are nationals. Moors are the movement. Moors are the national and the divine of the movement.
Yeah. Quick interjection, Grand Sheik.
There's a lot more.
Now, too, because I'm glad you just said that. No temple or nothing. Moors are nationals, because, like I said, I was coming out the store and the little girl said, "Look, Daddy, or more." I wasn't coming out of a temple. You know what I mean? And another thing too that hit me, like, it would have to be a dirty Moor to tell that little girl, when she said, "Look, Daddy, or more," like, it would be one of those dirty temple Moors to lean over and be like, "No, sweetie, he's not a Moor. He didn't go to the temple." Like, that's how that happens. That will be, one of the Taharkas or something like that. Will lean over to that 4 or 5 year old little girl and be like, no, baby, he's not a Moor. He didn't go to the temple. And then she look at you like, so he's still black? And like, how does that work, man? How did you just do that?
Yep.
How did you just do, like, that really just, that's it, because that's what's going to happen. it's going to have to be a dirty Moor that's going to teach her. Like, oh no, he didn't go to the temple. He's not a Moor. Not like, but what the Moor did teach her, his daughter, was the consanguinity, and you know what I mean. Like that's what makes us Moors. And she got that clearly. Not no Boys and Girls Club, but that's what these Moors' agenda is now. Is if you didn't come through the church, temple, you're not a Moor.
Yeah, crazy talk.
They would tell that little girl that would just bug me out. Like, oh no, he's not a Moor. He didn't go to the temple. Like, oh really? you just told that little girl that for real?
But look at Moor. Oh my gosh.
She told me that too. She pointed right up at me. Look, Daddy, a Moor. And they would, like you said, man. Because you know, as soon as you said, well, the prophet didn't write it, I'm like, who wrote it? You know, my imagination goes crazy. I start thinking of Eddie Murphy movie, The Golden Child, when he used to go see that lady with the snake, you know what I mean, behind the wall and stuff, and I'm like, yo, that's who the prophet got. See, that's who wrote down the prophet's information. Like, he was in the room, and and a bunch of these people was around. Snakes and stuff behind walls, writing down the information. You know what I'm saying? Like, what was going on? How did this happen? My mind goes crazy. Yeah, I was like, oh, wait a minute.
Mind your business. What you opening doors for? What the hell you opening stuff? We played detective.
Yeah, so I'm like, yo, it's good.
Be careful, Morris.
I think, you know what? They better off just saying the prophet wrote it. Just leave it like that.
Oh my God. Straight up. The prophet wrote it. Just stop lying. Stop lying on him. You know he wrote it.
Say it.
You know he wrote it.
Say it. Because as soon as you say he didn't say it, okay, you just open up a whole new can of worms. You know what I mean? You don't want that. My imagination goes to somebody had to write it.
Oh my gosh. Oh yeah. That was a good one. That was a good ab workout. More as a kid. These Moors are killing me today. Oh my gosh. Holy smokes, that's the time. 1 minute.
They're ride or die. They are true fucking warriors. They really work hard and they put in work for their people, for their community, and for the world in general. You know, black men have done a lot for this country despite what this country has done for them. Black men are very much so like Vegeta in the sense that black men work very hard and, you know, they come to work and they speak proper English and they do everything they're supposed to do, but yet still don't get the promotion. Now, how do I liken that to Vegeta? It's like Vegeta, you know.
Because they're black. That's why they don't get the promotion. Automatic, because you're black. Well, that's racism. No, it's because you're black.
Right.
You can't be black. Period.
Mm-hmm.
Vegeta's black because he's pale. But he doesn't come from a black whatever. Pale is just his description. That's just what, that's not his identity.
They be in the hyperbolic time chamber for like 10 fucking days, goddamn it, 10 weeks. But when he get out, he still can't go Super Saiyan for shit. But then you got a motherfucker like Goku, the white man, who'll eat a fucking apple, and this motherfucker go Super Saiyan 10. Like, that's bullshit. Like, I'm black.
So the black man is pale. The white man not Caucasian race. Now we know a name like Goku, European. Probably not European, no matter how he looks. No European name that. Now again, we ask ourselves, with so many references of Moors in Dragon Ball Z, so many references of Moors. I mean, fez wearing, right? Moorish red headband. Like, why wouldn't they compare them even to the evil? If you're gonna say the nigger, the difference between the nigger and the black man, the nigger should have been the evil Dragon Ball Z with the big fez. Because ultimately we're all Moors. Stop playing. And all these people know that we are Moors. They put it in their cartoons. They put it in their anime. They put it in their comic books. Now they're putting it in their movies. Openly. Big screen. Big screen. Another one that bugged me out was Roman J. Israel with Noble Drawley on the fridge.
That was crazy.
That one was.
Oh man, you should have said that. You should have been said that one.
Yeah.
That one was bananas.
Yeah. That one there was.
In the movie.
In the movie.
And I'm not talking about no low budget. I'm talking about Denzel.
Denzel. Washington. Washington.
Right. L. Hodge. The L. Hodge actor.
L. Hodge.
That one took a while for me to get too.
Yeah, Noble Drawley on the fridge.
Cause I was like, nah, that's not him. That's not the one. And I'm like, man, don't do like that. And I'm like, you know that damn lean. You know that shit.
Don't be like that. Nobody
sits
like that. Nobody sits like that.
I don't even gotta see the face clearly. Nobody sit like that.
Nobody.
I ain't never seen nobody sit like that ever in my life.
Let's get that one out there just to get it out the way.
You ain't never seen nobody sit like that. Pose for a camera? Ain't nobody posing like that. All I saw was the sash and the lean. I said, yeah, that's him. That's all I needed to see was the sash and the lean. I said, yeah, that's my prophet.
Unbelievable.
Did he have a sash on? Yeah. Was he leaning? Yep. Yeah, that's my prophet. I take responsibility for him. That's me. That's me.
Take responsibility. That's definitely the prophet. Prophet in a movie? You crazy?
Yeah, once he made it into Hollywood, he was in Hollywood on ESPN News.
Yeah.
ESPN is a worldwide news too, because like I don't get y'all news channel out here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But you get ESPN.
Yeah. Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I mean. Like that's a worldwide news. Yeah. They got ESPN in every language.
Yeah.
Every language. That Fez warrant, they saw that. in Ecuador, everywhere. They saw that everywhere in the barbershop, bottom floor. Some people who like soccer, they saw that.
Yeah.
In the corner hovel, they was like, yo, they got feathers on it. They seen it. The whole world, everybody saw that. That's why I was like, man, that was big time right there. Because I know ESPN is huge.
They go hard. They go hard. They went hard at it.
Yep.
They went hard.
But the more himself, Black Power. The rest of the Europeans going crazy telling you.
Yep.
Probably said, I'm gonna make the European tell you the truth. You ain't gotta worry about him. I'm gonna handle that for you.
Don't even worry about him.
Don't worry about him. Don't worry about him.
Don't worry about him, man.
It's them ones with turbans and feathers on that look like you that you better be worried about.
Put you right back in slavery. You worry about some white man. Don't worry about him. Don't worry about him.
Right. Those are the ones that chased your prophet around, took his stuff and put it outside in the curb. But no Europeans that did that.
Your own did that. Take no jolly stuff, put it on the curb. Islam told the mothers.
When you tell them, I should leave you.
I should leave you.
Tell them straight up. They almost blew our birthright then. They've been trying to blow it.
Been trying. I should leave you. I should leave you all. Not even just leave them. These niggers almost freaking set it up for everybody to not have anything. Imagine that. These Moors had it so crazy that Moors was gonna leave. Noble Ali was gonna leave everybody. Everybody. Just because these people are playing. You don't want this. We'll go to some people down south who want this. They're playing. Then he left. Then he left anyways because they're dumbasses. Now here we are. Here we are. Standing firm now.
We told him. Cussed them all out before he left. Wrote it in the literature so we can see it.
Yep.
Now, oh, he was angry at somebody.
Somebody.
You check the paper trail. He left a paper trail. You can see it.
Exactly. Oh, he's not mad at me. Yo. Me and the prophet are straight. Yeah,
they all snitched on themselves too. Who sold out, putting black on the prophet's death certificate. Like what, man? Everybody you can see who was selling out. They were selling themselves out. Where they say, just let them talk. Just let them show their true colors.
Just let them talk. Talk, buddy, talk.
Because they're going to tell themselves. And you can see who was playing the sell out, do whatever I got to do to be in the position of power.
Yeah.
As long as I get to, be that, as long as I get to be the guy.
Exactly.
They didn't care what it was of neither. As long as it's fraudulent or not fraudulent, they just want to be the guy.
Yeah.
You can see look what's going on today, man. That stuff is crazy. Because when you think about it, it was none of these TV fakes and Farrakhan nothings when the prophet was around.
Nobody. Him and Garvey, full steam ahead.
And they was not playing.
Yeah. Playing? What's that? What's playing? Yeah, boy. There is Islam for that one. A little something today. Peace and love to all the Moors all around the world. Islam. Give thanks to the Moors in the chat for keeping everything at bay. Islam to Brother Yusuf.
Islam.
Islam to all the Moors worldwide. Give thanks. Glad we could assist and lift you. Thank you for lifting us, Moors. Islam to all you chat Moors. DBZ telling the truth, you already know. You have any shout outs, Mar? Get the job going. You're ready. You're ready. Load a musket and run your mouth. Yeah, that's all you Negroes do. That's all you Negroes do. Run your mouth with your guns. Don't even kill a cracker. FOH. Yeah, more.
Islam.
You got any closeouts?
Islam to the Moors in the chat. Islam to the Prophet and the 200 prophecies for letting me run into that girl, that little Moabitess, and witnessing and for being part of your fulfillment of your prophecies. Islam to that.
Peace and love to all the Moors. Give thanks for all that you do, knowing that this is your nationality and your birthrights and your nation and your prophet and your forerunner. Islam to all the Moors. Peace and love. You already know willofalah.com, RV Bay Publications, get your study on. Khalifa Media. Don't forget, Noble Ali Day, January 5th, Canaanland, going to be throwing down. Should be a very, very Moorish time with the family. Islam once again, Moors. Peace and love to all. Keep studying and keep the Prophet up front. Islam, Moors.
Wow.